Hello to you all, Millie Lloyd. Hope everyone is having a good day. It's Old School Gamer 1971 with my top 10 for strategy games. If you would, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Spread the word as it makes the channel grow and puts a big old smile on this old face. Post your list down below in the comments. I look forward to reading them. I have decided to start doing something a little different with some of my lists. So it's PlayStation 4 games only until I get an emulator console and a capture device. So let's get started. My number 10, iZombie, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2016 and was developed by Awesome Game Studios. You are the leader of the zombies. You must attack humans to make more zombies to clear levels. This is a little fun strategy game. It is making sure you have the health for an attack or managing a stealth attack. This can be a little challenging at times. The later levels do end up being loads of enemies, turrets and even machine gun enemies. It reminds me of an idea for a PlayStation 3 game, Contagion. It was the same sort of idea as this game, but in 3D with really good graphics. Instead, we have this little fun title here, and I play this game every now and again. Moving on to number 9, Tiny Troopers Joint Tops came to the PlayStation 4 in 2014 and was developed by Plunge Interactive. If you ask me what a more advanced cannon fodder would maybe look like, it would kind of look like this. This is a fun game where you are normally outnumbered and outgunned, so strategy is your new best friend. I admit the last two entries are hardly lookers, but I've had hours of fun on them both. But this one is more challenging. It was an iOS game, like the previous entry. You can improve your troops and recruit new ones. This is pretty simple to play, but it does have a lot of levels and I have had a lot of fun playing it. Number 8, Worms Battlegrounds, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2014 and was developed by Team 17. As you can see, it's a return to 2D Worms. Well done Team 17, not just for still developing Worms games after all these years, but because you went back to 2D. For me, 3D Worms never worked, so with a single player and multiplayer modes of play, more weapons than you can find a use for, I loved Worms on the original PlayStation. Many games with Mark, Ricky, Matt, Rich and Shane. And whilst having the original would be nice, this having a story mode might make this just a smidgen better than the original. This was early in the PlayStation 4 life cycle, but still looks good to me. Strategy wise, the levels are good, but with online play you have to have your strategy tight and have to be able to change your strategy on a dime. My number 7, Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life, came to the PlayStation 2 in 2005, PlayStation 4 in 2017 and was developed by TOSE. One of my favourite game series. There are no enemies in this game, instead it's working out the best way to fulfill the game's tasks, normally set out at the beginning of the game. This time it is in the title, A Wonderful Life. You must live a full and wholesome life, get married, have a child, run a successful farm throughout. This is a return to the PlayStation brand for the series. For me, this is a good nighttime play and is on my to-do list for this year. And I want to get that platinum so bad. It's working out how best to make the money and improve your farm, whilst trying to maintain relationships with all the villagers. P.S. I am playing Harvest Moon: Light of Hope right now. It's my nighttime play, but I think I can squeeze just one more Harvest Moon game in this year. Moving on to number 6, XCOM 2. Came to the PlayStation 4 in 2016 and was developed by Firaxis. This is a turn-based sci-fi strategy game. This is a game I enjoy. I'm just not really good at. This is a game where you have to change your strategy on the fly. The fact you never know completely what you are facing means your choice of team is paramount. Positioning your troops is as important as leaving yourself exposed is the difference between success and failure. Also important is your base, resources and research. All affects your loadout. Whilst this is not in my top 3, it is a good game and certainly taxing. I like the alien and the weapon design and feel that the game is polished, but a tough play nonetheless. My number 5, Dungeon Defenders 2, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2015 and was by Trendy Entertainment. I just don't get it. This to me is so much fun. Different classes, weapons, advanced towers and a brilliant multiplayer. Set up the towers in the right locations and you can breeze through battles. Get it wrong and you can have a real battle on your hands. I've always made the same characters: Marlaw, Chico, Uppe, Quillen, Macgrim and Galuf from my Warhammer days. This is a tower defense game and has combat to boot. I really like this as it has some tough levels, but never had anyone who's up for a session on the game. Any takers? Moving on to number 4, Rainbow Moon. Came to the PlayStation 3 in 2012, PlayStation 4 in 2016 and was developed by SideQuest Studios. Whilst this originated on the PlayStation 3, it was ported to the PlayStation 4. Its gaming roots, however, go right back to the original PlayStation back catalogue, with combat mechanics borrowing heavily from Vandal Hearts and Final Fantasy Tactics, but those games were broken up into levels. This one has a whole world for you to delve into, and whilst no indoor sections, there is some underground ones however. On the whole, it is a really good RPG. But the combat is so cool. It gets tactical as sometimes you are outnumbered and you are outleveled, and it's only your gaming strategy that makes you the winner. PS, your max level is level 500, so anybody who likes a bit of a grind, give it a go. Moving on to my number 3, Pixel Junk Monsters 2, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018 and was developed by Q Games. If this matched its visuals to the gameplay, it would not belong on this list. However, anyone who has ever played it knows not just how good the strategy element is to this game, but how good the game is overall. Best bit is, it all changes with the multiplayer. Now with the sequel, it's up to 4 players. Somehow they made a great game even better. It is a difficult game as single player, yet alone as multiplayer as you share gems and money. Those levels do get tough, and placement and tower level of your towers is the difference between level lost, level completed or level perfected. Sometimes that rainbow for perfect is just so far away. Again, I am open for some volunteers for the multiplayer, hopefully with the same people I put hours into with the original game. PS, this game even has first person mode. Moving on to my penultimate entry, Fallout Shelter. Came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018 and was developed by Bethesda. Now this was lower down last year, but then I got my strategy down and it was even better to play. I played this game for well over a year, nearly every day, and this capture is as fun then as it is now. A lot of this game is strategy and planning. It's getting the layout right from the get-go. You don't want to be losing money on every room when you sell it back to change the room into what you need it to be. Never go in too quick on the breeding program. Don't take too many outsiders in. I would also send people out into the wasteland as early as possible to get your level up to level 10 to 15. It makes it easier to defend your vault. There is nothing else out there quite like this on PlayStation 4, and do hope that it gets a sequel, as this kept me hooked well beyond the platinum. And my number one, Valkyria Chronicles 4, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018 and was developed by Sega. The first time I played this, I thought it was just another inferior sequel. A pretty good game, but inferior. As time went on, the more I realised that this is the better game. This is such a good strategy game, with well designed levels that are designed for you to use your whole team to the max. There is so many different ways to complete levels, some quicker than others, some safer than others. Sometimes things change during the mission and you have to change your strategy, dropping back some of your troops and putting others onto the battlefield. This is the better Valkyria Chronicles title in almost every single way. This game tops this list as I feel that it made me think about every move, and your location at the end of your turn is almost as important as the move itself. I feel that this game makes me think more than any other game on this list, and the thought process lasts long after the game itself is actually switched off. Well, that's about it for me today. If you like this list, there is plenty more content like this on my channel. Enjoy the rest of your day. Old School Gamer 1971 signing off.